CureALS is a first-of-its-kind, startup nonprofit platform company that will fund research grants and provide expert resources to leading multidisciplinary research organizations who share our vision and values. Together, we will profoundly accelerate the cycle time, accuracy, and reliability of existing basic, translational, and clinical research, creating breakthrough results. While the past decade has seen more progress than the preceding 50 years, conventional methods for developing therapies and discovering a cure for ALS remain slow and ineffective, woefully underfunded, and has reached a defining moment, whereby hope can turn into reality. Our aim is to fill in the gaps and remove the obstacles preventing the progress necessary to eradicate ALS by granting targeted and meaningful funding to promising researchers, using powerful artificial intelligence technology that can perform analysis of which humans are incapable, providing researchers with the expertise required to leverage the technology, and acquiring the data necessary to effectively train AI models. Central to our strategy is utilizing a highly intelligent self-learning computing platform that interconnects the research ecosystem and leverages the inherent power of data that already exists, as well as data samples we will source as an ongoing priority. And although our focus is on ALS and by proxy other neurodegenerative diseases, there is nothing about our approach that could not be replicated in other classes of disease. Before I get into the details of CureALS, I don't know how familiar you are with the disease, or if you have an appreciation for how finding a cure would not only be a benefit to those who are affected, but people who suffer from other neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and frontotemporal dementia. As I just alluded, ALS is part of a family of neurodegenerative diseases, known as Lou Gehrig's disease, named after the famous New York Yankee who was diagnosed with ALS in 1939. Its official name is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and it is the deadliest, most debilitating of neuromuscular diseases. As someone with the disease, I can personally attest, it is a ruthless, unrelenting disease. And while it's difficult to say, the truth is that ALS is a terminal disease with a 100% mortality rate and a mean survival rate of approximately 5 years, and 60% of patients die within 3 years. Unfortunately, I am not alone. It is estimated that someone is diagnosed every 90 minutes, and 1 in 300 people will die of the disease in North America and Europe. In the long term, over 1 million people will die of ALS in the United States, and over 200,000 in the UK alone. In the words of one of the foremost ALS research scientists, this is an epidemiologic crisis. One of the key messages I can leave you with today is that ALS is not incurable. It is grossly underfunded. While the National Institutes of Health research funding will increase $13 million this year because of the Act for ALS bill, the $120 million forecasted to be spent is inexcusably only about 1/5 of the amount the NIH will spend on sleep research, and dwarfed by the $11 billion that will be spent on cancer research. Frankly, you would be appalled by the number of far less critical research that gets significantly more NIH funding than ALS. And because the disease has a lower incidence rate compared to others, such as cancer or diabetes, philanthropy remains a huge challenge. People only have so much discretionary money for charitable causes, and disease prevalence is usually the driver of charitable giving. The one shining moment for ALS charitable giving was in 2014 with the Ice Bucket Challenge. The Ice Bucket Challenge raised $115 million for ALS, and more importantly, drove public awareness. By comparison, Hollywood, as an industry, comes together every year for a one-night event called Stand Up to Cancer, and last year it raised over $143 million in just 24 hours, more than the entire Ice Bucket Challenge, and higher than the annual NIH spending on ALS research. ALS is not incurable. The world's top research scientists are unanimous in their conviction that with the proper funding, technology, and organizational focus, we will discover a cure. The opportunity to eradicate this devastating disease, advance scientific research, and potentially unlock the keys to solving the mystery surrounding Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, as well as many other neurodegenerative conditions, if we just had the proper funding, technology, and focus, is what inspired CureALS. We believe, as do the brightest minds in medical research, that with the combination of sustainable funding and the application of a new public-private research model, including the latest in artificial intelligence technology, and expertise that can help scientific researchers achieve their full potential, we will find a cure and discover effective therapies in a hyper-accelerated manner, as well as provide invaluable insight into a next practice approach to the future of medical research. Importantly, beyond generous donations from individuals, we are going to demonstrate the power of corporate social responsibility and the higher purpose of conscious capitalism by leveraging corporate funding and private foundation sponsorship to fund much of the effort. And, while we will partner with government agencies such as the NIH on certain aspects of our initiative, like data acquisition, we will not get bogged down in bureaucracy or administrivia, which is a common theme underlying every conversation we have had with prominent researchers. This is the primary reason for our unique structure. Speed matters, not at the risk of quality, but rather to embrace the culture of private enterprise. Over the next year, we will co-locate CureALS with a major research organization who specializes in ALS research and has implemented or is in the process of deploying a scalable AI-capable platform. We will choose an established researcher who is deeply committed to collaboration and comfortable with our grant funding model of independently investing in several research organizations, enabling them with our expertise. The underlying technology will be a high-performance, AI-driven, self-learning, hybrid, cloud-based quantum computing platform coupled with crowdsourced compute, with a project code named after Lou Gehrig's uniform number 4. Number 4, in combination with our technology, data science, and computational biology team, will enable ALS researchers with the ability to solve once intractable problems and undertake what was considered impossible analysis, fast-tracking our way to a cure. To accomplish this, we will partner with the most innovative, gifted companies in the world, many of whom will be major corporate financial sponsors, to help us close the massive research funding gap, as well as maintain consistent operations. Moreover, we will activate a bottoms-up grassroots approach to fundraising in the ALS community, including researchers, patients, caregivers, advocacy groups, private foundations, hospital clinics, and people who have been affected. We feel confident that this approach will result in faster, more reliable progress towards a cure. Our short-term focus is to complete the recruitment process for our board, which will include a diverse group, including renowned scientists, medical professionals, business leaders, experienced charity administrators, as well as compliance and governance experts, amongst others. We are delighted to welcome two of the world's top neurologists and scientific researchers to our board, Drs. Merit Sikovich and Bruce Miller, both of whom are highly sought after for their resources, experience, and knowledge. Once complete, we will choose the research organization with whom we will co-locate. Coincident with board recruitment is the launch of CureALS, which began on June 2nd, Lou Gehrig's Day, and will include a complete approach to maximize impact over the next few quarters, including broadcast television, press, digital, social, web presence, and events. We will begin the search for a president in Q3 2023, after members of the board can engage in the interviewing process. Throughout the year, we will be meeting with companies to familiarize them with CureALS, with the goal of signing up sponsors and technology partners. We will have 4 sponsorship levels: Founder, Cure, Research, and Explorer. Giving levels are 10, 5, 2.5, and $1 million respectively, and can be funded over a 10-year period. In addition, for those companies that do not wish to become a sponsor, there is a one-time Advocate for Courage donation of $50,000. Our stretch goal is to have $50 million in commitments and 10 corporate sponsors on board by the end of 2023, and on a path to reach 100 million by the end of 2024. In addition, some of our corporate sponsors may also be in the technology industry and want to donate either technology or expertise, or both, to the build-out of the number 4 platform. So why are we doing this, and why now? There are several exciting technologies and rapidly evolving advancements in genetic engineering, stem cell research, and neural engineering technologies, companies focused on developing brain-machine interfaces that can eventually restore sensory and motor function. Along similar lines, there are companies like CRISPR, who are developing gene editing technology, which can precisely target and repair damaged DNA, or antisense therapy, a cell-blocking technology designed to inhibit the activity of the SOD1 gene, a gene found to be associated with ALS. Over the past 10 years, the cost to sequence the human genome has gone from $1 million to sub $1,000, and scientists can now create an individual's own motor neurons. Additionally, there are homeopathic and nutritional protocols being researched, because we now know that, like cancer, there are many different forms of ALS. A cure will be a combination of cohort-based, individualized therapies. Therefore, it is vital we now focus our energies on identification of subtypes, causation, and biomarkers. Unfortunately, ALS scientists are hampered by a critical shortfall in research funding, a lack of technology capable of running billions of simulations on combinations of omics, biofluids, clinical records, and neuroimaging data, amongst a myriad of other structured and unstructured data points. In addition, scientists do not have the technology expertise to realize the potential and harness the power of complex computing systems and software. Expertise in AI, cell engineering, neurobiology, and computational biology needs to come together to design machine and deep learning models that allow large data sets to be analyzed in ways humans are incapable of. Furthermore, there is a lack of collaboration across science. For example, there are too few researchers working together, not only from different disciplines but even in the same focus area. CureALS, through its unique model, will facilitate an ability to perform analysis unavailable today, providing researchers with the capability to solve these problems. Our intention is to also improve collaboration across the entire landscape by aggregating, analyzing, and openly sharing our knowledge, data, and learnings. Another major challenge is getting mind share and investment from Big Pharma. While there are some efforts underway in Big Pharma, with companies like Biogen, Merck, Bristol Myers, and GlaxoSmithKline, the amount of money and time they spend on ALS, or neurodegenerative conditions in general, is minimal compared to their higher revenue-generating drug platforms. CureALS, along with our research partner, will give them a reason to focus more of their resources on ALS by working with them on higher quality, higher velocity clinical trials that offer significant return on investment. There are also universities and hospitals conducting research, sometimes in partnership with one another. However, university programs aren't well funded, and most hospitals focus on narrower clinical research. Finding a cure is simply not getting enough attention, or the right attention to drive results. Something must change, and we believe that we have a solution. This is a visual depiction of CureALS. Our business model is basically an as-a-service model. In essence, we will provide a set of services, augment them with expertise, and grant talented scientists with research funding, which will collectively enable a step function change in medical research. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, although we will co-locate with an established ALS researcher, we will be open to the entire research establishment and provide grants to a variety of researchers, including those that may have a different point of view than the researcher with whom we are co-located, or a researcher from a different part of the value chain, such as basic, translational, or clinical. The primary purpose of co-location is simply economies of scale and experiential benefit of working day-to-day with research scientists. Beyond bringing the latest technology advances in AI, CureALS will create a knowledge-based center of excellence that will primarily focus on leveraging technology, data management, cross-functional skills transfer, and collaborative e-learning with the global research community. The technology infrastructure will likely be a combination of an AI-driven quantum computer and crowdsourced computing resources, which will, by orders of magnitude, increase the performance of our system. Researchers from around the world will connect to number 4 via the cloud, where they can access services such as the data warehouse, simulations engine, predictive analytics tools, pattern recognition apps, as well as a menu of other machine and deep learning modeling tools. While I will get into detail on the organization and roles in a moment, I wanted to point out that researchers who receive grants from CureALS will work closely with our operations support team. This team will pull resources together from our data sciences, computational biology, and knowledge management teams. They will help researchers develop models, algorithms, and structured data sets to process on number 4, as well as utilize the vast array of tools and training available to them. Researchers who do not receive grants will be given access to our e-learning platform, where they will find training, examples, and templates that will help them to accelerate their efforts. While CureALS will operate as a nonprofit, we will behave like a startup and foster the best attributes of both corporate cultures. Importantly, CureALS will employ a public-private stance that will allow us to focus our efforts like a private enterprise, but take advantage of the vast resources available in the public domain, such as access to data. Our public-private framework is designed to streamline the medical research process by effectively reducing the significant bureaucratic and administrative obstacles often encountered in the field. A top priority is to attract, recruit, develop, and retain great talent, as well as partner with the best companies and researchers in the world. People, companies, and researchers who are driven by purpose, giving back, quality of work, and making a lasting impact on humanity. We will organize around a contemporary, highly efficient functional model that will employ a flat structure with few organizational layers. This will allow us to devote more money to fund research and keep administrative expenses to a minimum. The three main core functions are operations support, knowledge and technology, and corporate services. Working backwards, corporate services will be responsible for finance, human capital management, legal, and fundraising. Knowledge and technology will house IT, data sciences, including computational biology, knowledge management acquisition and dissemination, as well as privacy and security. And operations support will oversee and assist researchers who receive funded grants as well as manage our strategic alliances. Think of operations support as a small team of experts in the research landscape globally, who are responsible for recommending to the board where we fund grants, and the subsequent ongoing management of those engagements. Knowledge and technology houses technical resources and capability required to support research. And corporate services is an internal support function, who has the remit to additionally drive fundraising. In total, headcount will be in the range of 15 to 20. So it is a rather lean team because the technology infrastructure will be provided by strategic partners. More specifically, the operations support team will have an in-depth understanding of the ALS research landscape and recommend to the board where we should fund research grants, as well as be responsible to manage, support, and report on progress against grantee key metrics and measures. Additionally, there will be a small group of people focused on managing our relationships with strategic alliances, including technology suppliers, data providers, and industry partners. Research institutions that do not provide data into the number 4 cloud platform will not be eligible for a grant or gain access to our resources. While we will store all publicly available relevant research data, analytics, and scientific literature into the cloud platform, we equally will input proprietary data and analytics from research partners into the platform who provide us with access. Many of these partners will not be grantees, but opt to provide this information to gain access to our data warehouse, analysis, AI, and simulation tools. For example, end-to-end drug discovery and development. Currently, around half of late-stage clinical trials fail due to ineffective drug targets, resulting in only 15% of drugs advancing from mid-stage phase 2 testing to approval. Using a knowledge graph composed of chemical, biological, medical research and information, AI machine learning models and algorithms can identify potential drug leads currently unknown in medical science and far faster than humans. This one example alone is enough value to a research institution to donate their data, yet there are dozens more equally vital examples that we will enable. A key internal service provider to the operations support team is the data science and knowledge management teams. The data science team is vital for enabling researchers to perform the kind of precise, comprehensive analysis necessary to discover a cure. Our team of technology and computational biology experts is dedicated to leveraging the number 4 platform and the latest advancements in AI technology to unlock insights from complex and varied data sets. While there has been an explosion in the data raw materials to discover a cure, paradoxically, this has posed a significant challenge to research. This unprecedented increase in information volume has resulted in reduced accessibility and a diminished ability to use the knowledge embedded in that information because of limitations in computing capacity, processing challenges associated with modeling complex living systems, and the need for data scientists who can interpret and engineer scientific outcomes. Our plan addresses these issues, and specifically with respect to data. Our data science team will work closely with researchers who have received grants to collect, structure, and process large complex data sets from various sources, including genomics, proteomics, transcriptomics, and metabolomics, which are commonly referred to as omics, as well as biofluids, clinical records, treatment, diagnostic, neuroimaging, and other key data points. Our team is responsible for cleaning, formatting, and manipulating the data to prepare it for analysis. They will also develop and apply advanced machine and deep learning algorithms and models, such as neural networks, random forests, and support vector machines, to perform simulations on large, complex, and unstructured data sets. These models allow us to identify patterns, relationships, and trends within the data, as well as predict outcomes. In addition, we will create visualizations and reports to communicate our findings and document data analysis processes and workflows. Our team also works closely with computational biology experts to ensure that the data analysis is conducted with a scientific mindset. We will support both exploratory research and new drug application activities, and work collaboratively with IT and technology providers to ensure that storage, system, software, and network requirements are met. In summary, our data science and knowledge management team play a crucial role in the scientific research process, and we are committed to supporting researchers in their pursuit of knowledge and discovery. Before I summarize and discuss the next steps, it is important to address the other key responsibilities of the knowledge management team. Beyond what has been discussed, there are three other primary responsibilities: data management, platform intelligence, and learning. Data management is comprised of the sourcing, storing, standardizing, and sharing of public, private, and third-party owned data. ALS and other neurodegenerative diseases suffer from the curse of dimensionality, which is to say, for AI to produce the output we need, the number of samples required for a specific level of accuracy grows exponentially with the number of features, and ALS is one of the most feature-rich diseases science has come across. Our plan to obtain high-quality, diverse, and sufficiently large data sets is to, first, partner with and integrate data from existing institutions who have sizable differentiated sample libraries, such as NISOLS, NEALS, Everything ALS, and PROACT, amongst others. This will include data from adjacent diseases that have proven to have similar biology, such as the case with ALS and frontotemporal dementia, who share commonality in terms of how the protein, TDP43, plays a role in gene expression and RNA processing in cells. Secondly, we will incentivize researchers to share data on an ongoing basis. To accomplish this, we will give them access to number 4, in essence, giving them data analysis for free, inclusive of data in our warehouse, data that will significantly enhance their research. As a further incentive, researchers who share data will be eligible for special grants, recognition, including award and fellowship titles, and the ability to leverage data deposition as a training opportunity for students or those in postdoctoral programs, in the form of a research fellowship or training visit with number 4 programmers. Thirdly, we will lobby the government to include ALS in the NIH budget for inclusion in the AD/ADRD budget, which currently only provides research funding for Alzheimer's and age-related dementia. One of our goals is to sequence the genome of every living person with ALS, as well as those newly diagnosed, and collect their biofluids, clinical data, and neuroimaging history. While that is a moonshot, even a smaller sample of this dataset would be invaluable, especially when combined with other data sources in multiparametric datasets. The second primary function is platform intelligence. Our AI systems engineers, in partnership with the IT team and our strategic technology partners, will design, build, and manage a quantum computing platform that not only runs powerful AI applications and delivers value to the research community, but independently thinks about how to cure ALS 24/7. Through a combination of machine and deep learning algorithms, we will develop a platform that can learn, not in the way humans learn, but via training data and the ability to refine its algorithms, improving accuracy over time, as well as automatically learning complex representations of the data. This team will also be tasked with developing generative AI and natural language processing applications, which will significantly improve the interaction between researchers and number 4, resulting in more natural and intuitive communications. The third primary function is learning. There are best practices in other industries that are beneficial to the medical research community. Our aim is to scale knowledge and transfer these best practices via e-learning, targeted leader-led training, and company-sponsored skills exchanges. For example, design thinking, a process commonly used in the technology industry, particularly in software development, is a non-linear, iterative process that teams use to understand users, challenge assumptions, redefine problems, and create innovative solutions to prototype and test. Involving 5 phases, design thinking is primarily used to tackle problems that are ill-defined or unknown, like disease. Design thinking has multiple application benefits but will greatly assist translational research with bench-to-bedside therapies. There are several other core business processes and learning opportunities we intend to deliver. The menu for learning will include general business core curriculum, as well as technology training, specifically on using AI applications. While we will make e-learning available to the research community overall, we will focus on underrepresented groups, including women, people of color, and others. We will work alongside our sponsors, the NIH, and the university complex, to advance the goal of improving diversity in the research community. We will also tie this effort in with data deposition by focusing on underrepresented groups when thinking of grants, fellowship, or training opportunities. With your help, we will find a cure for ALS and other neurodegenerative diseases while pioneering a next-generation approach to medical research. We will, in a very public way, demonstrate the power of conscious capitalism and unrecognized potential of corporate social responsibility. The Number 4 platform will utilize the latest in technology to deliver value absent in the world today and unobtainable using current approaches to research. The combination of the best of science and technology will endeavor to hack the most complex supercomputer ever created, the human brain, and in doing so, unlock the ability to solve the mystery of ALS and many other neurological conditions. CureALS will organize for strategic execution as well as build, manage, and operate in a frugal but effective way. We will thoughtfully fund only those research institutions that meet a high bar for qualification and be both good stewards of giving capital and externally transparent in terms of results and reporting. While it is always difficult to talk about oneself, before I dismount, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and why I am qualified to take this challenge on. First, I want to tell you that I put this off for a few years because I needed to be 100% committed, as did my family. In addition, you must be healthy enough at a minimum for a few years until the initiative is up and running, in capable hands and structurally sound, executing to the strategic plan. One of the few things this disease doesn't take from you is soundness of mind. Unlike Alzheimer's, ALS does not affect your cognitive capability. So while my mind can continue to run a Fortune 500 company, my body will not let me. I have been in the technology industry for 35 years and began my career in the 1980s, in what was then a nascent Silicon Valley. For 15 years, I was a public company chairman and CEO. I have been on the boards of NCR, United Airlines, Sprint, Coach Fashions, now Tapestry, as well as a trustee at Georgia Tech and Long Island University. Moreover, I have been involved with numerous nonprofit institutions, including the ALS Association, Tackle ALS, and St. Jude's Hospital, where I am a benefactor. Suffice to say, I am ready, willing, and able, as well as blessed with the support of my family and a large contingent of high-quality people who are willing to join us. Thank you for listening. We'll now open it up to your questions and feedback.